This is a year of stepping up creatively, Virgo. It's 2018, Happy New Year. And you can see why I'm saying that here in the lower part of your horoscope. These four planets, Pluto, which has been there for some time, the Sun, Venus and Saturn, congregating here in this fifth house of creativity, fifth house of children, fifth house of love affairs. You see here that this transit of Pluto is what we would consider a transformative planet, bringing with it options to really do something different with your life, to find that sweet spot that makes your life far more fulfilling than it has in a long time. You've got your challenges cut out for you though, because late last year Saturn moved into this same area, and that brings with it a whole lot of responsibility. It can be constrictive. It can put obstacles in the way, and in a way life does that because it strangely wants to test just how much you want something. Fifth house is also the house of speculation. So looking at this part of your horoscope, we see that these are the areas predominantly that are going to be focused on in 2018. You'll notice that these planets move out reasonably quickly. These are fast-moving planets. Pluto's going to remain there for some years now. Saturn will be there for 2.5 years. Venus and Sun, and now Mercury, the Moon also, as you can see. They'll move out of there reasonably quickly, but you still have these transformative, challenging outer planets which are going to be doing their work. On the 30th here we see let's go back one day here, the important eclipse of the transiting moon here in your 12th house. By this stage some influence on your 6th house and 12th house, which is work, debts, expenses, and also to some extent your health, which is shown by this. 12th house in particular is a spiritual house, but a house of expenses. And notice also down here the transit of Mars. Look at all the challenging aspects that are going on here from this health area. But I would say that you're driven by this Mars in the lower portion of your horoscope. Venus moves then to the favourable 7th house, a very idealistic position. Sun and Mercury also joining it in the latter part of February to bring more attention to your relationships, business partnerships, and that sort of thing. And you can see how block by block these planets tend to congregate in different areas of your horoscope. So here we can see the shift again around March into the shared resources part of your horoscope. Money, finance, banking, taxation, retirement funds, all of those sorts of areas will be triggered. And then in April, the movement of Venus, one of your best planets, moving through its own sign here in the upper part of your horoscope of travels, higher learning, cultural interchanges. Just before that, just after that, we see the transit of the Sun also accentuating that. And then as the planets move in the upper part of the horoscope towards the middle of the year, more emphasis on your professional activity, your self-esteem. Notice here Mars in the competitive area with Saturn and Pluto in your 5th house. If you're a sports person, that's excellent for those type of activities. There's an important transit here also of Uranus into the 9th house from this 8th house. That lasts up until November 7, and then it will retrograde back out. But during that period, expect some possibly unexpected journeys, some last-minute arrangements that can be rather fun, but maybe a little stressful as well. The Sun and Mercury up here in the upper part of your horoscope are wonderful for bringing promotions in work, and then thereafter around June and July, the position of Venus, Mercury and the Sun in your social affairs area. This is excellent for helping you with your networking, communicating with friends, so on and so forth. Later in July we see the powerful eclipse again in Leo, which you can see taking place just around the full moon here. There it is on July 28. Again, this is accentuating your expenses. This is also a very strong spiritual component here. You may feel as if you need to withdraw at that time. You see the Mars and the Moon combination here in your 6th house, challenging this 12th house area where you may want to just withdraw. For some people at retirement age, it can be either semi-retirement or full retirement. Venus here in the earlier to the latter part of August, accentuating your income sector. This is great for improving your financial circumstances. And the other important transit I want to talk about is the November transit on the 8th of Jupiter into your 4th house of domestic activities. This is significant. We see Mercury retrograde at that time of the year, indicating caution necessary with any contracts, any building, that sort of thing. You've got money coming in, as shown by the very, very favourable position of Venus in this 2nd house. But this could cause you to expand a little too big, too fast. And nevertheless, that's still a nice note to end the year on. The Mercury-Jupiter conjunction in the 4th house, not only of family activities and domestic affairs, but inner peace and harmony. I've actually written 3,000 words for you at my site, astrology.com.au, which goes into a little more detail into what's going on in the next 12 months. All sorts of areas, as we've discussed, but especially your karma, your luck, your finance, your relationships, your work, travels, health, etc., etc. So do pop in there, astrology.com.au, and join me again next month here on the same channel at the same time for the February forecast. Take care, and again, Happy New Year. Bye-bye.